Hey, what's up? It's DeHuff. It's another episode of DeHuff Uncensored presented by my good friends over at Burns and McCoy. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. However you're listening to the podcast, just click on the subscribe button. Make sure you share it with your friends and make sure you give it a nice review. All right, today we're going to get into the moments you realize you're getting older, some crazy stories out of Australia, plus people in Chicago need to calm down when it comes to the Bears quarterback situation. But first, do yourself and your family, friends a favor. Grab some Burns and McCoy. I love their hot sauce. I tell you every episode how much I love their hot sauce. But they also got amazing dressings, mustards, margarita mix, Bloody Mary mix. Burns and McCoy is a family-run business. Their goal is to bring you only the best products made with the finest ingredients. Food should be fun, and they provide that fun with each unique flavor profile they offer. They're available at all grocery stores in the Front Range. I was just at King Soopers, grabbed some Burns and McCoy over there. And you can also check them out at burnsandmccoy.com. So it's really cool. I got merch. I got shirts, all thanks to my good friend Nate Lundy and the guys over at Mile High Sports. And it's funny because I met up with him and he unloaded all these amazing t-shirts, which, by the way, coming up soon, I'm going to figure out a way to get them to you guys. Right now, they're in my trunk. And if you see me out and about, don't be afraid to say, "Hey, DeHuff, give me a fucking shirt." And maybe I will. Or maybe I'll run away in terror. Either way, I should have some in my car. I did give them to a bunch of my neighbors because they love wearing free shit. That's who they are. So I got, unloaded some to my neighbors, Beth and Jeff, and then Rob, as well as Scott and his hillbilly brother-in-law. so I got fully loaded. It was cool as I got the shirts yesterday, and then I went outside later, and like literally everybody's wearing DeHuff Uncensored podcast shirts. It was a very cool moment for me because there's like, these are nice shirts. I like it, and I'm supporting you. So I truly appreciate it. So I'm gonna get those in your hands hopefully soon. And I'll maybe give some sort of giveaway, but keep locked in on this podcast as well as social media if you're able, and I'll figure a way to get some to you. So it's cool because I'm handing out these shirts, but what was funny is what size can I get you? Everybody says they're a large. I swear, except for like Scott and his brother-in-law. They're all like, yeah, give me 2XL. Everybody else is like, give me a large. I'm like, are you sure a large? And I remember back in the day when I worked at the radio station, I'd be handing out free t-shirts. And you do the same thing. There'd be an obvious person that is like a 2X. And they'd be like, I'll be like, oh, so what size shirt? I'll take a large. Are you sure? You sure you want a large? Yeah, I'm a large. What are you trying to say? Then they take the large. 5 minutes later, that guy's wife would come back and be like, do you have any 2X? I'd be like, yeah, here you go. And then she's like, you can have this large back. I'm like, okay. And yeah, you can see her get in the car with her husband. And it's like, dude, come on. Just let's all be honest with each other. Ourselves, actually. Because I thought I was a large. I put on a large, and then I'm like, nope, I'm an XL. Okay? I'm an XL at this moment in my life. So, hey, let's be honest. Life sucks sometimes. Sometimes we're little chunky monkeys, and that's fine. Just more of me to love. Okay? Yeah. Speaking of, this is the most random side topic, but I was dicking around on social media yesterday. Ladies, I totally forgot about this. And my wife brings it up to me all the time, and it shocks me every time she brings it up. Women have no pockets in their pants. That's the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Like, they have, maybe some of their pants have them, but like sometimes they're like super like fake pockets. Like it's just for design. Or it's not even a full pocket. It's like some half-ass pocket. It's the dumbest fucking thing. I don't know why there's not a movement to change this. Because my daughter has these, like, say, pants, and it's like, they're fake pockets. So they put this in your pocket. And she's like, I can't. They're not real pockets. Like, that is the dumbest thing ever. Whoever is making clothing for women, pull your head out of your ass. This isn't the 1600s. You're not trying to, sell purses here anymore. Nobody gives a shit. Put pockets in women's pants. I don't understand it. It drives me nuts. I don't know how you ladies deal with that crap. And to be honest, I never really knew it was a thing until recently. Just drives me nuts. Stupid. Anyway. Sorry, it's just weird. I think it's something that, like, us guys, we take for granted and be like, yeah, just stick it in my pocket. I'm sure the purse industry is all against this shit. Be like, no. They don't need pockets. They need purses. They need overpriced purses. Do it. God damn it. There's a movement going on to get pockets and pants for ladies. Put out a new Coach bag now. Ridiculous. Anyway, let's move on to football. Going from ladies not having pockets in their pants to pocket quarterbacks, right? Anyway, did you guys hear Andy Dalton talking about Justin Fields? So people are upset with Andy Dalton or just making fun of Andy Dalton. You're like, oh yeah, it's your time, huh? You suck. Like, Justin Fields is still a rookie, guys. He hasn't done anything. As Mark Schlereth has kindly said on the radio many times, he hasn't put a score to piss in the bucket. Something like that. I don't know. He says something like that. He hasn't done anything yet on the field. It's Andy Dalton's job to lose. It is going to be interesting. I think out of quarterback situations in the league, when you got a starter and a backup, again, you're going off of performance in week 1 of preseason. Justin Fields looked good. And you got Andy Dalton that's been around for a while. He's a good, decent quarterback. Is he great? No. Is he Hall of Famer? No. Would I like him on the Denver Broncos? Well, I'd be happier to have him than Teddy Bridgewater. I'd like to have Andy Dalton and Drew Lock as a combo. But anyway, going back to Chicago, it's just, they have a really good situation going on with their quarterbacks. Let's not be too crazy and too willing to toss Andy Dalton aside and get Justin Fields in there. Let Dalton play a little bit. Let Justin Fields get his shit figured out and tightened up. You guys are set. It looks like, based off of one preseason game, it looks like you got a real deal in Justin Fields. But don't go knocking Andy Dalton. He's going to win you games. Is he going to win you playoff games? I don't know. And besides, what do you expect him to say? I mean, if at your company, if somebody comes in and they're like, this is another guy with same position as you, you're gonna be like, well, yeah, you're gonna be the new one taking over this job. Like, no, if he's gunning for my job, he's gonna have to rip it from my cold dead hands. No, God, guys, that's what Andy Dalton's saying, essentially. This is his job to lose. I would be upset if he was just like, well, he's going to be the starter very soon, right? It's a matter of time before he takes the job from me. Oh, God, is that really what you want? Be like, fuck you, Andy Dalton, get out of here. No, you want him to say, you want my job? You fucking take it from me. Okay? So just cool your jets a little bit. You guys have a good situation in Chicago. Don't be cunts about it, okay? Oh, that's like the second time I used the C word on this podcast. Somebody's offended. All right, so I put this out on social media. Got a lot of great responses from you guys. Can't wait to get to this. But first, So I'm gonna talk. Oh, well, I'm stupid. My brain is just like vibrating right now. I'm starting to get a migraine. Eh, I got a headache. No, seriously, my head just freaking hurts right now. We're going to get into when you realize you're getting older, but first, if you like to grill like we do here at the DeHuff House, you gotta check out our good friends over at cinch.com. I'm all about propane, and they do propane home delivery. They come to your house, pick up your used tank, and leave a fresh tank at the location you select. Whether it's your driveway, doorstep, or porch, it's super simple. It's amazing. So right now, new Cinch customers can get their first tank exchange delivered for just $10 when you use the promo code MILEHIGH at checkout. Again, that's MILEHIGh, all one word. Enter your zip code after you go to cinch.com, cynch.com. So you enter your zip code, order your tank, select a delivery date, use the promo code MILEHIGH, again, all one word. Set out your used tanks for exchange, and boom, there you go. Super simple. Again, check out cinch.com, cynch.com. Use the promo code MILEHIGH, all one word. All right, so we got a bunch of these reactions to when you realize you're getting older. A lot that I couldn't get to. A lot of them were repeated, but I'll tell you the reason why I started thinking about this was the other day. We got this nice dining room table that my wife and I bought about a month or so ago, and I wanted to get some wood polish on there so keep it nice and fresh looking. So I go and get some. I apply it the other day, and I'm like, oh my god, this looks amazing. And I took a picture of it and sent it to my wife. I was like, this looks amazing. And I even bought some cutting board oil, and I oiled up all our wooden cutting board and some wooden utensils and shit, and like sending her pictures. And I'm like, this looks amazing. I was like so excited, and she was excited too. She's like, oh, that's great. And I'm like, oh my god, we're old. We're taking so much joy in the enhancing wood. It did look good though, not gonna lie. I also get excited over new scented soaps. Like my wife will get something that smells like lavender. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. It's like there's a party going on with my nose. Wait, that sounds dumb. That's not even funny. It's funny because it's dumb. Anyway, I enjoy the way they smell. So I asked you guys on social media, whether it was Facebook or Twitter, to give me your moments of when you realize you're getting older. And one was, this comes in from Josie on Facebook, when your doctor looks like he's a 15-year-old boy. That happened to me when I got hip surgery like 2-3 years ago. And the doctor, I kid you not, amazing doctor. And he looked like he was like in his mid-20s. I'm like, fuck. He's just got done playing that, operation game. And then now he's going to be messing with my hip. Great. Sounds fun. This comes in from Richie on Facebook. You go looking for something in your bedroom and you forget what you're going in there to look for. All the time, Richie. I do that all the time. And it's frustrating because you just sit there, you go into a room and you just stop. You're like, what the fuck was I coming in here for? And then I start going through, okay, I was doing this, and hopefully I stumble upon on the right track of what I was going in there for. Otherwise, I'm just sitting there and then I just turn around and leave. I got a lot of these. When a rainstorm comes and you can barely move. That comes in from Troy. Yes, Troy. And then there's also, when you get out of bed, it sounds like a water bottle being crushed. That comes in from Red. When it sounds like your joints are reminiscent of children popping bubble wrap. That comes in from Grant. Your knee swells up when you're changing with the changing of pressure ridge. That comes in from Jake. Yes. My body hurts every morning when I get up. It hurts throughout the entire day, but really bad when I wake up. And it's like, it's the stereotypical, you get up and you're like, oh, and it just I can't help but make those noises. because my back hurts, my knees hurt, my shoulders hurt, my hand hurts. Yeah, I'm a mess. I'm a hot mess. Very attractive to my wife. She just sees me just barely moving and she's like, yum. Okay. No, she does not. Anyway, let's see. This comes in from Rob. You're considered a dad bod. Yeah. There's some bullshit study out there where allegedly the majority of women find dad bods more attractive than overly fit bodies. And I think that is a bunch of bullshit. And it had to have been a study conducted by a bunch of guys with dad bods. It had to have been. Because it makes no sense to me. Listen, I look at myself in the mirror. I make myself, nauseous. Let's see. All your sports heroes from your childhood are retired or dead. That comes in from Brad. That's true, Brad. It is very true. Let's see. Turn that down. Close the door. You're letting the heat in or out. Get off my lawn. All regularly heard in the house these days. That comes in from my wife, Brandy. And it's true. It is true. I get irritated when I go into the basement and realize somebody left the lights on. Like, what are you doing? There's nobody down here. You're just wasting electricity. That costs money. Why is the door open? Why are you just standing there with the door open? I just got it, there's decent temperature in here, and now you're just like heating up the whole house. Drives me nuts. Kids, man. No, but it's crazy. Just, ugh. I get very irritated with it. I also get irritated. My son will take long ass showers, and it's just like, what are you doing? You're just wasting water. We're going to be in a fresh water crisis very soon. We can get into that in an upcoming episode. It's right around the corner, whether we want to admit it or not. Let's see. When you rock out at the grocery store, Eddie, you're 100% correct. I love the fact that I can go into a grocery store and most likely what's on the radio is either 80s pop music or early 90s country music. I love that. Love that. In fact, if I ever decide to get back into mainstream radio, I think I would do best in a 80s pop format. I think that would be great. I love all that music. Now, that being said, I like Cool 105 is a station here in Denver, and they play oldies. Guess what the oldies is? It's 80s music. What's funny and annoying, and now I know I'm old, is when I was a kid, Cool 105 played 80s, and it was like 50s and 60s. Now they do 70s and 80s. Damn it. I'm old. It's so frustrating. Let's see. Wheels0218 on Twitter wrote, I speak of the 90s as if it was the Stone Age. You go in for a haircut and they ask you if you'd like them to shave your ear hairs. That comes from D-Ron. Yeah. Let me tell you guys a little secret about the DeHuffs. We're very hairy, right? I remember my grandpa, I remember putting my arm around him to console him after my Nana passed. And is a sweet man. And I put my arm on his shoulder. And there was like a layer, like a padding of hair between his shirt and his body. So it was like it was crazy. I'm like, wow, he has a lot of hair. Holy shit. And he had, he had a lot of ear hair and shit like that. Guess what I'm experiencing now? I was looking at my back the other day. I'm like, that's disgusting. I really need to get like laser hair removal on my back. That would be great. Be fantastic. I think everybody at the pool would appreciate that. Go to a beach. Yeah, look at that guy. He has a nice clean back. No, instead right now they're like, oh my God. You could stick a comb in the back of my hair, on my back hair. It would just stay there. So disgusting. And speaking of ear hair, yeah, I got that. I can't see it all the time because it's either white or just like blonde. And I can only see it in, certain angles in the light. Anyway, now that I've nauseated all of you, and now you're just envisioning me with my shirt off with, like a perm on my back. I got my back bush and my ear bush going on. Oh yeah. Need to trim my bush on my back and my ears. Let's see. LaFour Michael on Twitter wrote, "It's like when you get excited that you fertilized your lawn." I do get excited. I get excited when I mow the lawn. Although I'm teaching my son for several years now he's really good at mowing the lawn. So just the lawn maintenance in general, yes, I do get excited and take so much pride in it, and it looks good. Although this year has been a kind of a rough year. I got a lot of just nasty grass that got in there, but I haven't fertilized as much as I should this year, so that a lot of shit got in there. But I do get excited when everything looks good. Be like, oh, I got a good edge going on right there. Fantastic. Very exciting. This one comes in and it says, "You're a guy and your tits shake when you go over a speed bump." That doesn't mean you're old, though. That can happen to at any age bracket. But yes, I don't want to talk about it, okay? It may or may not happen. You're thankful that menus can now be viewed with a QR code and you no longer have to take out your glasses and to see the print. You can zoom in or out. Very good point. Very good point. Grunting. This kind of goes back to some of the other ones. You're grunting when sitting down or getting up all the time. You sneeze and you throw out your back. I don't think I want to say Vic Lombardi did that once. Works for 92.5. He I want to say he sneezed or did something and he threw out his back for 2 days. Something crazy like that. I could be wrong. This one I don't fully understand. When the wives on the Viagra commercial starts looking hot. I think they've always looked attractive, but hey, I like older women. Then somebody else wrote, "Not to mention the Depends woman." Okay, yeah, that's going a little far. That's when you know you're old. And this one comes in from the Broncos party bus when I put my readers on to read this post. Yes. Thank you guys all for participating in that. There's a lot, and I imagine if we all continued to think about this, there'd be plenty more that we could go to. I was excited when we painted the inside of our house. I'm like, oh, it's like a new house. It's very exciting. I got new carpet. It's great. My wife bought this new toilet bowl cleaner. And I was like, oh, it's kind of good, like with the soap thing. Be like, this smells amazing. We got to get more of this. Let's put that on our to-do list. It's like we're so lame. And then going back to the music shit, the stuff my kids listen to, that again, they have a wide variety of music that they listen to, but some of it is just hot piles of garbage. Oh, it's like YouTube stars that have no right to be singing. They're awful. Awful. Anyway, back in my day. No. All right. Imagine you're walking down the spice aisle at a grocery store. Just imagine. Okay? Then boom, a big ass snake is staring back at you. Yeah, that happened in Sydney, Australia. Big shock, Australia. Snake on the loose. I know. So it was a diamond python. They said it was right around 3 meters, which is just under, I think that's 9.8 feet. So just under 10 feet long. 10 feet long. And it's just staring at people. Nobody knows how long it was there. Just all of a sudden, it just comes out and starts making its presence note, like, hey, fuckers, how's it going? I'm a fucking snake. Oh, I'm Australian. Anyway, here's what's crazy is it's not venomous. It's a python. But that being said, we talked to Chad Brown about that, former NFL linebacker. And now he does like snake wrangling, and he helps people, distribute reptiles and other animals across the world. But he was talking about like a python's not going to kill you from venom, but if it bites you, it is going to take a chunk of you out. It will mess you up. Thankfully, they say that this one was pretty gentle, and they also are thankful that one of the people that came up upon this snake was a former snake catcher, and she was able to run out to her vehicle. She had a snake bag because it's Australia. Why would you not have a snake bag? I mean, come on, everybody has it. Never leave home without it if you live in Australia. And then she was able to catch it, and then she was able to release it back into the bush. So pretty wild. But that's pretty typical of Australia. I mean, that would just freak me out. I see these videos of people like they're shooting a video of a snake coming out of the toilet, of like your toilet in your house. And I'm sorry if that happens to me. I'm going to have toilet issues the rest of my life. Could you imagine if you're just sitting down doing your business, taking a good, nice BM, and then all of a sudden you'd be like, ooh, got a little tickle out of my beehole. Wait, oh my God. And then you see something like looking back at you. Oh my God. Never. I'd just be wearing diapers the rest of my life. I think that would be a thing. Right? But it also reminds me of the craziness that is Australia, because they have all those big ass spiders. Obviously, they have deadly snakes. But when we were able to visit Australia, I remember we saw a spider while driving. You could see one that made a web between two signs, like a street sign and like a yield like sign. So we pulled over and took pictures of it. A huge fucking spider. I want to say the butt of it was just slightly smaller than my fist. Big ass. Big old booty on that spider. Delicious. But it was huge. It was big enough that you could see it from while driving. That's just crazy. And then we had that giant one that was in the beach house that we rented, and we ended up leaving that one in there because that ate cockroaches, which is another thing that you got to deal with, especially the closer you are to the ocean in Australia. It's just nuts. But that's just Australia for you. And my brother would send me pictures every now and then of these like giant ass spiders that like are making their home on the front porch, like big old, probably the width of your hand if you were to stretch out your hand, like you're giving a high five. And that's as big as, if not bigger, that some of the spiders are bigger than your hand. And that's just like including their legs, obviously. And they also have those like huntsman spiders out there, gigantic fucking spiders. They look like something out of like a movie. Fucking creepy. But my brother would send me pictures of these particular spiders, whatever they were, and they're just so thick, and they were like yellow and black, and it's just like, oh my God, could you imagine you're not paying attention, you just fucking walk into that? Because the picture he sent me was on his fucking porch. It's horribly disgusting. Horribly. But it is what it is. That's Australia for you. It's a beautiful place, but man, spiders and snakes freak me out. All right, so in conclusion, just, you know what? I got merch. Stay tuned. I'll get you some merch. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So keep listening for that. Women have no pockets in their pants, and that's just fucking stupid. Andy Dalton or Justin Fields. Either way, Bears fans, I think you're going to be fine moving into the future. Either way. We're all getting older, and that sucks. And when you go to Australia, be prepared. There's going to be a fucking snake looking at you if you're going down the spice aisle. Guarantee it. Not really guarantee it, but there's a good chance, apparently. All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to DeHuff Uncensored. Make sure you subscribe wherever you're listening to it. Make sure you share it, and then make sure you give it a nice review if you're able. Thank you guys. Thanks to Burns and McCoy. Check them out at burnsandmccoy.com. And thanks to cinch.com, cynch.com. Make sure you use that promo code MILEHIGH, all one word, at checkout, and you can get that first propane exchange for just $10. Super cool. All right, thank you guys so much for listening. It's DeHuff Uncensored. Let's move forward.